Good morning, everyone. Let us start. Today we shall learn a new chapter, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife, Chapter 5 of your geography textbook. Now let me present my screen. So this is the new chapter, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife, Chapter 5. Let us read. Let us read this paragraph, and this paragraph tells us that India has rich biodiversity. That means India has different varieties of plants and animals. So our country, India, is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world. Mega means large. Okay, so India is very rich in biodiversity. With about 47,000 plant species, India occupies 10th place in the world and the 4th in Asia in plant diversity. So India has 47,000 varieties of plants, kinds of plants, and occupies 10th place in the world and the 4th in Asia in plant diversity. There are about 15,000 flowering plants in India, which account for 6% of the world total number of flowering plants. And the country has many non-flowering plants. India has many non-flowering plants such as ferns, algae, fungi. Have you seen ferns, algae, and fungi? I think some of you might have seen it. So let us see some photographs. This is a photograph showing ferns. This is a photograph showing ferns. Then here, this is a photograph showing algae growing on a stone. And fungi, I think you are very much familiar with fungi. This is a photograph showing a type of fungi. Another photograph also here. So this is another type of fungi. So India has approximately 90,000 species of animals as well as a rich variety of fish in its fresh and marine waters. India has approximately 90,000 types of animals. That is 90,000 species of animals as well as a rich variety of fish in the fresh water as well as in the marine water. Marine water means oceanic water. So this paragraph, as I told you, tells us that India is very rich in biodiversity. Let us continue. So here a definition of natural vegetation is given here. Natural vegetation refers to a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid and has been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. So natural vegetation refers to a plant community, means refers to a group of plants which has grown naturally, not planted, okay, without human aid, and has been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. Sometimes if the vegetation has been left undisturbed by human beings for a long time, we call it virgin vegetation. Okay, if the natural vegetation is left undisturbed by human beings for a long time, it is termed as virgin vegetation. So we have a good example of virgin vegetation. Okay, see here, this Amazon forest. So this is a very good example of this natural vegetation and virgin vegetation. See, this is the Amazon river. Okay, so this is one of the examples of virgin vegetation. Here in this box, okay, some important terms are given. The virgin vegetation which are purely Indian are known as endemic or indigenous species. Okay, but those which have come from outside India are termed as exotic plants. That means the vegetation which has been grown in our place, okay, since the time immemorial, are known as endemic. The vegetation which has been grown in India, which has been grown in our place, okay, since the time immemorial, is known as endemic, native or indigenous. And those which have come from outside, those which have been brought from outside, okay, that is from other countries of the world, are known as exotic plants. For example, eucalyptus tree, okay, Nasik tree is an example of exotic plant because it has been brought from Australia. And generally we refer, okay, this the term flora is used to denote plants of a particular region or period. Flora refers to the plants. Similarly, species of animals are termed as fauna. Okay, fauna refers to animals and flora refers to plants. Up to here, any questions, boys and girls? Do you have any question? Regarding virgin vegetation, exotic plants, then endemic plant, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, let us continue then. See, we have learned that different varieties of plants and animals are found in different places of the world. Likewise, different types of plants and animals are found in different parts of India. And we have some reasons for this. Okay, there are some factors for having different types of plants and animals in different parts of India. So those factors are given here. The first major factor is relief, okay, related with the landforms. And under relief we have two sub-factors, land and swell. Let us read. Land affects the natural vegetation directly and indirectly. Okay, see, you may find different types of vegetation in the mountainous region, another type of vegetation in the plateau region, and in the plain areas you may find another type of vegetation. Okay, so depending on the landform we may find different types of vegetation. That is, the nature of the land influences the type of vegetation. So for example, fertile level land is generally devoted to agriculture. Generally we cultivate the fertile level land. Undulating and rough terrains are areas where grassland and woodlands develop and give shelter to variety of wildlife. That means mountainous areas, hill areas and plateau areas are mainly covered with grasslands and trees. In this way, depending on the type of landform, we find different types of vegetation. Next, we have soil. We know that soils vary over space. That means the type of the soil is different from one place to another place. Okay, in some areas we may find black soils. In other areas we may find red and yellow soils or sandy soils and so on. Different types of soils provide basis for different types of vegetation. That means depending on the type of the soil, okay, the type of vegetation also may be different. The sandy soils of desert support cactus and thorny bushes. Okay, the sandy soils of desert support cactus and thorny bushes. I think you are familiar with cactus also. See, this is a photograph showing cactus mainly grown in the desert areas naturally, but grown here as a gardening plant. Then thorny bushes actually naturally grown in the desert. Okay, so these are the thorny bushes grown in the desert areas. Then while wet, marshy, okay, and deltaic soils support mangrove. That is in the coastal areas, in the wet areas and the coastal areas. In the deltas of the river, we find mangrove vegetation or deltaic vegetation. Okay, about this we shall learn in detail later on. So this is a photograph showing mangrove vegetation. Okay, it is mainly found in the coastal areas. And the hill slopes with some depth of soil have these conical trees. Okay, so conical trees mainly found in the these high mountainous areas. Okay, so this is the tree, and here the crown takes the shape of a cone like this. For example, pine. Okay. See here, I will show you one photograph. So this is a photograph showing conical tree. Okay, so these are conical trees. Pine, spruce, these are conical, okay, in shape, known as coniferous forest. Up to here, any question regarding soil and this any question regarding soil and land? So if you don't have a question, then let me continue. Everybody is connected. Next we have climate, another major factor. Yes, any question? Are you connected?
I'm connected, sir.
Okay, very good. So under climate we have temperature, then photoperiod and precipitation. So temperature, see the character and extent of vegetation are mainly determined by temperature along with humidity in the air. Means the type of vegetation, okay, the nature of the leaf, whether it is a broad leaf or needle-like, okay, are determined by the temperature condition as well as the amount of water vapor present in the air, that is precipitation. Say on the slopes of the Himalayas and the foothills and the hills of the peninsula have the height of 915 meters. So on the slopes of the Himalayas and the other hills of the Peninsula Plateau, the fall in temperature affects the type of vegetation and its growth, changes it from tropical to subtropical, temperate and alpine vegetation. So it means that, okay, when we climb up a mountain, then temperature is decreased, as well as the amount of and the type of precipitation is different. About this we have learned in chapter 5. Okay, temperature decreases with increasing height. Likewise, precipitation also varies with increasing height, and accordingly we find different types of vegetation, different types of forest on a mountain slope. Okay, see here. So when we climb up the mountain, then the type of trees is different. See here, and the microorganism also different. See, at the foothill, so tropical, this evergreen, then coniferous or size of the trees also decreases. Okay, this is alpine, small flowering plants. Okay, so in this way type of vegetation is different. And see here also, see this is a mountain, okay, and here at the foothill we find tropical rainforest, and if you climb up, then temperate deciduous forest, then another forest, okay, needle leaf forest, this is also temperate, then tundra, then ice and snow covered mountains. Okay, so in this way when we climb up a mountain, type of trees, okay, varies. Here this table also tells the same. See, if the temperature is above 24 degrees Celsius annually, then we find tropical forests. If temperature is between 17 degree to 24 degrees Celsius, we find subtropical forests. If the temperature is ranging between 7 degree to 17 degrees Celsius annually, then we find temperate forests. Okay, and if the mean annual temperature of the region is less than 7 degree, then we find alpine. So in this way, with the change in temperature, the type of forest also varies. Next, another important factor is photoperiod, that is sunlight. Photo means light, okay, period means duration. See, the variation in the duration of sunlight at different places is due to differences in latitude, altitude, season and duration of the day. About this we have learned in chapter 4. Okay, variation in the duration of sunlight at different places on the earth is due to the differences in latitude, altitude and season, okay, and duration of the day. See, we learned that along the equator, okay, we find vertical rays of the sun, then duration of the sunlight is longer, okay, like that we have learned. So here we may confine mainly relation with the type of forest. Due to longer duration of sunlight, trees grow faster in the summer. That means we get more bright sunshine in summer, and that is why, okay, tree grows faster in summer. And another important reason is that, say for example, this is a high mountain. Okay, and let us suppose this side is north. Okay, northern side, and this side is the southern side. And let us suppose the mountain range is in the northern hemisphere. Okay, is in the northern hemisphere. Then here, if the mountain range is in the northern hemisphere and if it is running east-west direction, okay, that means generally say the southern side of the mountain will get more sunlight than the northern side here. Okay, just in our place also, if your house is facing east, okay, and we are also in the northern hemisphere, and that is why the southern side of your house will get more sunlight than the northern side of your house. Like that, okay, if the mountain range is running east-west direction in the northern hemisphere, the southern side of the mountain will get more sunshine, and hence the southern side will get, okay, luxuriant vegetation. See here, one question is here. Why are the southern slopes in the Himalayan region covered with thick vegetation cover as compared to northern slopes of the same hills? That is what I explained you. Okay, the southern slope of the Himalayan mountain get more sunlight. See, as is indicated here. Let us say this is the Himalayan mountain, and the southern side of the Himalayan mountain get more sunlight than the northern side, and that is why. Okay, there is thick vegetation cover in the southern side. We know that the Himalayan mountain is running east-west direction. Any question from your side, boys and girls? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so let us continue. Precipitation. So precipitation means the process of falling down of condensed water vapor on the earth surface that we learned earlier. We have two main types. Okay, say rainfall, then snowfall. Others also there like hail, sleet, but generally here we shall merely confine in two main types of precipitation, that is rainfall and the snowfall. And see, areas of heavy rainfall have more dense vegetation as compared to areas of less rainfall. Okay, so amount of rainfall is very much related with the type of vegetation. If the amount of rainfall is heavy, that is more than 250 centimeters in a year, then we may find this tropical evergreen forest if the temperature is high. If the amount of rainfall is less than 25 centimeters, then we may find desert type of vegetation. Okay, so in this way, amount of rainfall and the type of vegetation is directly related. So one signpost question is here. Why are the western slopes of the Western Ghats covered with thick forests and not the eastern slopes? So this is because the western slopes of the Western Ghats receive more rainfall than the eastern slope. The western slopes of the Western Ghats receive more than 400 centimeters in some places. Okay, whereas the eastern slope receive less than 200 centimeters in a year, and that is why the western slopes of the Western Ghats have thick forest cover. Okay, and the last part, so this paragraph, okay, this small paragraph tells the importance of forest, the significance of forest. See, why forests are important for human beings. it is explained here. Forests are renewable resources, can be renewed, can be back after using it, and play a major role in enhancing the quality of environment. You might be learning in science classes also. Say forest produces this oxygen in the photosynthesis process, and they modify local climate. Forests modify local climate. It makes us cool. It gives enough rainfall to us. It gives moisture to us. Control soil erosion, regulate stream flow, support a variety of industries. Some of the industries like paper industry, then textile industry, synthetic textile industries, are dependent on these forest resources. The paper is made from the softwood trees, for example. Then provide livelihood for many communities. Some of the communities, some of the tribes are dependent on the forest resources for their livelihood. They collect these things, materials, food, fruits, and other forest products from the forest, and that provide livelihood for those communities. And the forest also offer panoramic or scenic view for recreation. So forest provides scenic beauty, and it gives a good tourist spot. At the same time, forests control wind force and temperature and cause rainfall. So this tells the importance of these forests to us. Trees control the wind force. I think you may be learning about it. See, if so many trees are there, then when the wind blows, then the trees will obstruct the speed of the wind. So in this way, this forest control the wind speed. And forests also provide humus to the soil and a shelter to wildlife. When the leaves of the trees are decomposed, then it gives humus, organic matter, to the soil, and the forests are the home of these wild animals. So in this way, forests give so many useful things to us. And here, one very important information is given here. According to India State of Forest Report 2011, the forest cover in India is 21.05% only. This is not good. That means we are exploiting forests. As per the scientific norm, about 33% of a country must be covered with forests. 33% must be covered with forests. This is the scientific norm, but for India, forests cover only 21.05%. So up to here, any question, boys and girls? If you don't have questions, then let us stop here for today. Don't forget to send your names in the WhatsApp group for attendance. Thank you very much for joining my class.